seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running.
Off the limb. It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
What's up, fool? There's a couple of us in here, I guess, right? Hey, it took me a little while. I had to go get some material from Lowe's, and I'm looking for another tool, and I don't know if I have it, but we're going to still run with this build series anyways, just keeps me motivated because I got to get it done. For CFL, this is my Vollocity 48 that I'm taking to the event. It's the limited edition, lightened with the Drac foam and all that goodness. So I'm just did taxes too. So I'm like, I shouldn't probably have came tonight. I should really just stayed home. But anyways, I am here. We're gonna do part 2 and let you see what the frame looks like. And there you go. I'm gonna hit the timer here in just a minute. Just force this show on the road. Share it out if you feel like it. I'll be right back.
Time to take about 2 or 3 paces to your phone. Make sure that you've got your feet underneath you.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and hit this timer. Whoever wants to watch this obviously has waited long enough, and so have I, and I do want to kind of hasten things a little bit. I don't like to sit still. Get to know me, I don't. But anyways, here comes the timer. You know what that means. We're going live in 5. Oh yeah, always 21 and over. I'm happy to see you're finally building my wing. Your wing? You're the only tool anyone would need. Nice.
you tell a dream feel from a cold steel rail, a smile from a veil. Do you think you can tell? Did they get you to trade your heroes for gold? Hot eyes, trees, hot air from a cool breeze, cold comfort change. Did you exchange a walk-on part in the wall for a lead role in a cage?
What up, everybody? All of you knuckleheads and ladies and gals. Welcome to another informational tutorial series in building. And this one is the RiteWing Vollocity 48, the limited edition with the track foam, that special German stuff. Anyways, it's going to be a part 2. There we go. How's that? I've got her set up right there. I did a little prep work. Like I said, this is more of like a cooking show. I'm going to show you some of the, you should have the basics. These are just some of the tips, I guess, if you will. And tonight it's going to be about 3M application and what you need to do, how you need to put it on, and then laminate. So here we go. Let's go to the bench. What do you say? I won't have my buttons, and I won't be able to read that much. And I don't really think anybody really cares too much about reading comments. But you guys can chat amongst yourselves. Let me go ahead and cue this up right here. I know Loco's here. We're going to give Loco an applause. Hey, Loco, what's up, man? Yeah. We got one lung soul. We got 4. But anyways, it's kind of like use it as a tutorial, like a library. I'll make it. I don't care if you all show up or not right now, but try to make this informative, and we'll go from there. I don't know how many parts are going to be to this whole series. I would imagine probably 6. Because, again, my time constraint is this has got to be done by Wednesday of next week. Take your time when you're building these. You don't need to rush when you're building all this stuff, unless you're like at an event or something and you got to get something going for like competition. Otherwise, take your time. Do it right. Do it right the first time. Slow. So, 3M. This is the thing. So when you're doing laminate, and especially, well, I don't care what you're really using. I picked this one up when I came on to RiteWing, when I came on board as a pilot. Chris taught me to use 3M9. I used to use the 77 stuff back in the day, because that's what I was taught. And that stuff doesn't really last. So the whole idea of using this is it has a higher heat tolerance, and it will adhere to the foam way better. So what I mean by that is when you're putting that iron on there, when you're using that 77 stuff, it breaks it down. It breaks that adhesive compound, molecular, it just breaks it apart. So it doesn't remain as tacky and as adhesive. This stuff has a higher tolerance. So when you're using that iron and you get it on there, it'll actually do much better. So there you go. There's your little tip. So use this only. I don't know about Loctite. I know you can get that at Lowe's. This is where I got this. This is at Lowe's. So that's the main thing. Then when you're applying it, you want to use, there's 3 settings on this. There's low, medium, and high. You want to have it on high setting. And you want to spray this when you're only like 4 inches from it. So I'm going to do that, obviously, off camera, because I got to use it in the back room where I have some ventilation. Real quick. Probably do that on a quick commercial break. Because what we got to do is we got to prep the surface. All these wings that I've ever built, I've always done this, which is, used to use M77, but use 3M90. And sanding. You got to sand your frame and get rid of the cutting process. In other words, some of this foam will get slicked out when it's cut. And you want to raise it up, and you want to make it fuzzy. And you don't want like long-ass hair standing out, but you want to be able to look down its profile and see a little bit of a fuzzy haze going on. And that's when you know the foam's good. You don't want to sit there with your sander, if you're going to use a sander, all day long on one spot because you'll warp it. So you can either use your hands or you can use a little handheld electrical sander and do it that way. I do both. It just depends what kind of mood I'm in. So we're going to go over here and let's start. Oh, and don't forget, Rotor Ranch has got a build coming up on after this. No, I wasn't trying to steal his thunder. However, I need to get this shit done. All right, so I didn't really change anything from yesterday as far as everything getting set up. So you should be able to hear me well. I listened to my video last night and it looked pretty cool. I can read your stuff, Chris, so if you have anything you want to send to me on this directly, go ahead and do that via Facebook Messenger. That'd be awesome. Then I'll go ahead and try to read these out. So let's see what Chris is reading right now. Where is your iron? Because we'll get to that in a minute. Rag Claws irons work great too. I use, I think usually set 235. All right, we'll get to that in a minute. That has to do with lamination process. So let's go ahead and prep the surface. I wish I had my cue in the sexy music. All right, we'll talk about this laminate right here that Chris sent me, which is different than this other laminate that Veginot FPV brought over. So you can use this if you want. I'm just going to talk about it because you really don't have to. I don't even know where my sander is. Anyways, you can use one of these. This is what I have. It's a little mouse sander, Black & Decker. Kick it on. It's his or her pleasure. Depends on what you're into. And that's kind of the process. You don't want to be bearing down on this thing with weight. And then you can use your hands. And I'm trying to find out where I put it. Because, damn it, I had my little piece of sandpaper. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, there it is. Of course, I've got an orbital sanding pad for this kind of sander. Anyways, it's okay. The idea is you're just trying to get the foam to come up. You know, you're definitely not trying to change anything on this frame as far as it's cut. You want to make sure that stays. Why do I have a sneaking suspicion that Chris is having a conniption right now watching me do this? All right, I mean, it's just kind of like that. You're not really getting all hog shit crazy with it. Now, most of the years when I've been building wings, I've done it by hand. I tend to like to do it that way because then you're really looking at the frame, you're seeing what's going on as you're doing the process. about it. Shouldn't be much more than that. And plus, I already did this a little bit. You're looking at like a couple minutes on each side, not that long. And you just want to look down and see that the foam is not shiny for one. So I know it's really hard for me to tell if you can see this and it's just even focusing. I'm going to try. There's some tricks to the trade here. Focus on my hand, camera. Focus on my hand. And then hopefully you can look down the side here, but it's got to be right on. But I think you guys understand what I'm talking about. So you want to get rid of the gloss and you want to get rid of any smoothness. You want it to be rough. You want this shit to adhere, this stuff, to really grab on to foam. On this lightened frame, you really got to pay attention to all these slits right here, all these little cross beams where everything's cut out. In the past, you just kind of roll over everything. This time, you got to really pay attention to making sure you're getting every little piece. I haven't really built a lightened one, so I'm just kind of going off some logic would dictate that I really need to pay attention to all that shit. So handheld might be your ticket right here. And that way, I ensure that all this foam is ready for application of this. And that will help my lamination process. Because then once all those hairs are standing up and the glue is actually stuck to that shit, then you go and iron it all down, it seals it up really well. And the one thing that I do notice sometimes when people are building these lightened frames over the past year, sometimes they don't sand it. I've noticed that I haven't brought it up to their attention, but I've seen it, and therefore the foam the foam doesn't take to the laminate. It doesn't stick. So you got this little air pocket. Here's a reason why I don't like building, okay? It's not that I don't enjoy the art. I love it, actually. I do. I really do. Problem is my brain. I'm that kind of person. I know I've got like probably ADHD or some shit I was once. But anyways, so what happens is I get so hyped up on these, like really focused, then I don't want to do anything else but just finish it. So I'll sit here for hours on end building. Pisses my wife off. Marty's like, go home. So that's why I don't like building. It's just, I get so caught up in it, I don't want to stop till it's done. It's just the way my brain works. So I'm really trying my ass off to do this in nice, gentle steps. And the reward is good, because I did it for 2018 Commonwealth Games and Championship. I took my time on that build, and it paid off. I'll do it again. Done long enough from that side. You should also be able to feel it as you're going across this stuff. You'll feel the fuzz that I'm talking about. Be very careful when you're pushing down on this. Like when I mean pushing down, you're not putting a lot of pressure down, okay? Enough to get the sandpaper to do its job, and that's it. And so be careful, make sure you're keeping the frame flat as best you can. I mean, it's got to be flat, because you don't want it to bend it. Just till this stuff's all like sealed up in the laminate, it's still, you know, it's bendable and breakable. Got to get that leading edge really good. I might be relocating to my back part where I actually do my full-on builds. Just thought we'd do this on this table. Figure it may work, may not. Right now, I don't like the fact my GYSOT trophies keep falling down. All right, looks good. Just feel it. Make sure it's all nice and fluffy. This thing's gonna fly great. I mean, I'm not kidding when I say it's already strong as shit. It really is. This is amazing. I mean, I got here, raced here, and took it out of the bay. Part of it got stuck. I had to get that off, but I didn't really have a chance to admire it. I did check its lines, and spot on, man. I mean, they are straight. I'm looking down the leading edge right here, and not anything. No twist, no nothing. Check for warpage. None. Yep, none. My eyes want to play tricks on me, but there's a way to check for warping, and I was taught this way back in the early days. For me, early days, it's like 2011. When you're pulling a wing up like this to check for a twist, as you're pulling it up, you are looking at the back, the trailing edge, and concentrating on both left and right, the exact same spot if you can. And as it comes up, that part should come up equally at the same time, left and right. And if it doesn't, like the left side comes up a little higher than the right side, whatever spot you've picked to focus on, then you've got a twist. You can't use the elevons. You got to disregard. You can't use that as a reference point. So you got to use like part of the edge here that you want to look for that pops up or something to that effect on both the left and right, and look for it to come up at the exact same time. If it doesn't, you got to twist. And so what I'm looking for right now is my left and my right main verts, the slots for them, and I'm looking right here, and I'm looking right here, and I'm wanting to make sure they're coming up at the exact same time into view, and they do. So they're good. No twist, straight, should fly just fine, should launch straight on its maiden. And my mind keeps playing tricks on me, and I'm doing the bottom. Nope, it's good. All right, so same sanding process is what you're going to do on the bottom, and I'm going to actually pull out the actual hand sander. So there's a couple pieces of foam that actually stuck. I ran out of the ones that actually go to this. All right, I'm gonna go back to doing it by hand. I'm just more comfortable doing it that way. Now, I was hoping if I left it dry overnight, which I did, by the way. Remember yesterday I was talking about when you did the gluing with the star bond, you cut the slits, drop the spar, or you cut the slips. I can't even say it right. Anyways, the channels a little deeper. You drop the spars in, pull them out, make sure everything's measured. Then you drop a bead of glue, and then you put a bead of glue over it after you drop the spars in. Let it sit overnight versus using the accelerant. It really does work. Man, this shit is super. It is so strong. Like, the glue is just amazingly strong. Like, I'm just really shocked. I much prefer to use it that way than using accelerant. Accelerant's great for, and I will continue to use it if I'm at a race event. Ship breaks, I got to use some tape and glue. That's the way you get back up. And for that, it's amazing for that. So, it'll last for the rest of the event if need be. But for like a full-on build, let it dry overnight. It really is amazing, man. I'm no bullshit. You guys get it, find out for yourself, and reach out to me and tell me, yeah, hey, Shelby, you were right. Impressed. Very impressed. Make sure you're getting all that gloss out, and make sure you're going across it, feeling it for the fuzz. No, I don't mean the police. You can see it right here. I don't know if you can see it in the camera or not, but right there, when I left it in the bay overnight, in the bed, the glue got kind of on there. Now, I'll dig it out over time as I continue to do this process. Not terrible. I mean, it's a pain in the ass. It'll pop off. If anything, I really sealed that fucking spar in there. Profile-wise, it's fine. It's not, aerodynamically, it's not doing anything wrong with it. It looks like shit right there, and that spot looks like a cork deluge on it. But talk about making that joint right there all perfect. It ain't breaking. It's sealed up with foam on top of it. I'm feeling the airfoil without looking at it. I can feel a slight little hump. I'm going to sand it down. It'll go away. No, I'm not a master builder yet. But I'll take that little bit of blemishes right there and be able to deal with them, get them out, versus not having a straight wing. Because without putting these things into their bays and their trays that get cut out of, you're going to have a hard time battling, making sure you don't get a twist, or making sure, you know, it's not warped anywhere, or tacoed, I guess is the term. There we go. I'll start off. I really dig that. Voila, there we go. Take a look at it, make sure you're good and you're not over sanding anywhere. I think I look fine on this side. Same for this side. Trying to get some of that grayish residue. There's the term. The residue that comes when you use this kind of glue, get in and off the frame. Looks pretty good. Yes, look a little bit. Nah, there's just some shit on there. All right, so it's also sanding. It's not that exciting, but it's cool. As you're moving along in a wing build, it's different than like a, you can tell right away this is off right here. I gotta figure that out. Cut doesn't look right, Chris. You gotta fill me in on that one, because one side's cut differently. Anyways, I just can't get over how strong this shit is. It's crazy. Like this, man, that's insane. Insane. It just feels good. The building process, you just become real intimate with the frame because you know all its subtle nuances already going into it. You can start getting an idea of what it's going to fly like. You can start envisioning it. This is shit that I'm talking about, that I do. You just start envisioning, like, what am I going to do with this? How am I going to fly it? I mean, you just start to realize as you're building it what it's capable of before you've even flown it. You start kind of daydreaming, like, I bet you fly like amazing. Which I know this thing is. This thing's going to fly great because the standard version's it's just amazing. It's simply amazing. If you haven't got one of these, do yourself a favor. Even if it's not this limited edition one, get it. And I'm not saying that because of my name. I'm saying it because it's legitimately an awesome frame. All those little pieces of fucking foam are pissing me off. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chatty Cathy while I'm sitting here picking at this shit real quick. Because we're going to move on to the next step, which is putting on 3M is what we're going to be doing next. Nope, nothing there. So I'm going to... all right, we're going to talk about that in a minute. And the rest of you guys I can't read unless I go to my YouTube and hold on. Let's see if I can. Don't forget, Roto Ranch is going to be doing his build series on the RiteWing V3. So be sure to check that out tonight. It's going to be 10 p.m. Eastern, which is going to be right on after this. So just going to kind of do a back-to-back. So, well, there's kind of like 8 of you guys in there, gals included. So we do have, especially on the gang, we have Belinda. Let's see. Jedi Mind Tricks. Make it rough. Big Lou. Oh, I got to make sure I turn that down. Rotor, what's up? What's up? East Carolina, that's a beautiful wing. It is. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. What up, pimp? Kill the tunes while you're building so we can hear you good. Is it too loud? Man, I got to hear shit. I'm going to tell you that right now. If I don't hear anything in the background, it drives me nuts. So maybe I just grab the microphone and talk like this a little bit more. Anyways, like I was saying, I know what I need to do. Back. I didn't really leave. I'll turn up Marty's mic. I'm using Marty's mic over there. This is the issue. And I'll also turn the music down a little bit just to help you out. I am getting ready to take a break, though, because I'm going to run this pretty much like I do the show. So these are going to be a lot more abbreviated. All right, so I think I got that. I think, Mr. Loco, you should be fine with that, right? Correct? You fine with the audio levels, Mr. Loco?
15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11.
All right, now, yeah, there we go. Now my mic's hot mic. Yep, all right, cool. So what was I talking about? I was talking about the build process and how you, once you start building a wing, it's not like a quad. Quads are very easy. I'm not trying to put them down. I'm not. When I'm just stating facts, because I've done both. Quads, you do not get the same feeling or attachment or I don't know what else other words I can use for it than you do when you're building anything which you have to build to this extent. So when you start really put hours into something, you start to have a passion for it. You start to have an emotional attachment to it for sure. And I think that's the difference. I mean, because you can take, once you've done one quad, you can literally just freaking turn them out like a Ford factory line, just one after another. Duplicate the settings. You have all the same identical equipment. Bing, bing, boom, you're done. Does not matter on these. These kind of frames, like RiteWing's frames, which are pro-end frames, each one of them, when you build them, are going to have subtle differences. Meaning just, well, right here. There's a little off right here. So what am I going to do? I'm going to have to fix that. So it's not going to be perfect like the other guy might have one of these. It's going to be a little bit different. It might have inherently gotten a twist on my build maybe, or something to that effect. Or I might have a dimple in it because I sanded too much. Or I used the heating iron too long at one spot and it put a dimple in it. You know, I'm not just saying blemishes are what's going to give you character, but the frame character, but it will. Maybe a little bit of negative, but you start to get an attachment for it. So, and I want to sound sexual and play sexy music, but you really do. You start feeling, you're like, man, this is awesome. And I'm not kidding you when I say this material simply is blowing my mind. Chris, there's something right here I've noticed. I don't know if it's because I'm using my X-ray vision, but there looks like a dent that goes all the way down the cross beams. And I think that's just a shipping thing, but it looks like it got pressed. So that's definitely going to come up for me. Again, different frame. I mean, 48 to another 48 where it still got some differences. I got this little line in here, and I'm sure it was just through, something happened, and that's not normal, but it's not going to kill the frame either. You just know when I laminate it, I'm going to have a little bit of some little air pockets that I know I'm going to want to fight and get them out, but they probably won't come out because they're down by like, I don't know, 1/4 millimeter or something like that. Enough to just irk my brain. All right, so the next step we're going to do is 3M90. So the key about 3M90, like I said before, is you want to put it on a high setting. And it's got 3. It's got high, medium, and low. Hopefully that's working. And test it. Before you start going and doing it on this, just give a couple squirts, use a box or something, and just try applying it on there and getting a hang for it. Once you understand how it flows out of the nozzle and how you're going to apply it, because you want to get it on there nice and even. You don't want to be way out far where it's starting to make strings and shit, especially going into all these holes right here where the cutouts are, because it's going to look like crap if you don't get it out. So we're going to go down this, road right here. I am, by applying this on this lightened version, because I haven't built a lightened version. This is the first. No, yeah, did I? Yeah. Wait, the V3? Yeah, I have. Anywho's, I'm so tired right now. I can't even think straight, and I'm still doing this stupid show. But I love you guys. What I'm going to do is go back in the back during commercial and spray this, because there's no point in sitting here and doing that, because I also need to do a ventilated area. And when I come back, I'm going to show you what it looks like. And I'm only going to be doing this top side right here, and we're going to go from there. Cool? All right, so let me take a quick 5. Go ahead and spray this down, and I'll be back and show you what it looks like. We're trying. I really am. All right, guys, take a quick 5-minute break. Be right back.
So you think you can tell heaven from hell, blue skies from pain? Can you tell a green field from a cold steel rail, a smile from a veil? Do you think you can tell? Did they get you to train? Yeah.
What up, everybody? So, Wilton, watching the wrong camera, or the wrong window on my computer. Anywho's, welcome back. I don't have my buttons. Ah, yay, everybody's cool. Everyone's still here. All right, when I left you, we were putting on the 3M90, and let's go ahead and switch over here. We don't need to waste that much time. Let's go ahead and do that. And, boom, there she is. I don't know why I didn't do an applause, but yay. There she is. She's starting to come together. So if you look at it right now, it's kind of got this gray, not gray, it's obviously gray. It's kind of like this white fog. I don't know what kind of color. It's opaque. It's opacity. I don't know. Either way, you can see it. And I'm going to flip it over and show you. So this side's been applied, the 3M90. So let's just go over there. All right, cool. And this mic's pretty hot. This wire sucks. Now, hold on. All right, cool. So I went in the back there and I used the 3M90 that I showed you that I just bought from Lowe's. Shake it up really well. Give it a test spray on I did it on a cardboard box. I always test on a cardboard box. And then check out how the flow is. You want to see how it's coming out in that nozzle. And when I say you only want to be 3 to 4 inches, you want to be closer to 3. Because what happens is when you pull it out, anything past that, when the spray comes out, it comes out wide, okay? On the high pressure, it comes out real wide, like that. And then it will quickly taper in as it's shooting down. So it comes back together as it gets shot out. So what you're trying to avoid is that string part, basically where it reattaches in spray and starts spraying all over this, because then it's just lines everywhere. You want it to be like 3 inches, so it's like spray paint. And then if you've ever used spray paint before, you don't just sit there. You just back and forth, and you back and forth. Nice even sweeps, just same tempo all the way through. You can try going this way, but you have more chance of getting a lot of errors than you will going this way, and just taking your time. And work it up and down, and go all the way across, and then come all the way back, all the way down. Just one complete run from tip to tip. And I did it probably 4 times. Now, this is where it's personal preference, how much of this stuff you put on here. Just realize when you're putting that 3M90 on here, it is adding weight, and it adds up quick. So, depends on what you're wanting to do with your frame, will dictate how much of that 3M90 you want on here. It will add some rigidity to it. It will definitely strengthen up the frame because now the laminate is completely latched into the frame. So I put enough where I know it's where all the laminate's going to touch. And if I've missed anything, I'll go over there with a quick spritz and just right here, like that, because I've actually missed a spot a little bit, even though I went over it a bunch. The rest of it looks really good. It's a nice, even coating. I can see the coating. I can see the layer. Versus the other side, which is not done yet. I don't want to touch the fucking foam or the glue, so I'm going to grab the inserts, the inside. So you can see this side, not done. So I'm going to do the same thing over there. And then you want to let it dry. Let it go until it's not tacky anymore, which it's still tacky. Once it's not tacky anymore, then you can go ahead and start doing the laminate process. And I'm going to set this aside because I don't really need to screw with it right now, and I actually want to talk about the laminate. So let me set it aside. Where do I want to put it? I'll put it over here on the Demon and / TBS frame. Cappy. All right, so this is this PET, I guess, right? Am I right? Correct me if I'm wrong. The PET laminate. Let me show you the difference. Over here, it's gonna be a little off. I actually have some other laminate in the back. All right, this is courtesy of Veganaut right now. Veganot, sorry. Anyways, from Jason. Anyways, he was here the other week, or last week, and stayed over the night. And he left me a shit ton of 3mm laminate. So there's definitely a difference between this laminate and the laminate I just dropped, which is Chris's. Special. I mean, you can hear it. Now, this is 5mm lam, so he's obviously going to have a different thickness. But you can just hear it alone. And I've heard my fair share of laminate, meaning like 5mm and 3mm from different companies. This stuff's really, this is amazing stuff. Versus this is right here. This is really light. It's much more flimsy, but it's actually not bad. I don't think it's bad at all. But figure out what you're going to use. 3mm, I put it on a race frame. Like I do a 3mm on the top, 5mm on the bottom. So I got to have a little bit of that rigidity. I got to make sure it stays and survives at least a couple crashes. If you do it all in 3 mil, you might risk losing your frames you're racing. Anyways, so there's what Jason sent. I'll use this for sure. Throw this off to the side. Nope. All right, on this stuff right here, you can just hear it. Glossy side is the side you're going to put the iron on. Obviously, this is the side with all the adhesive, the opaque kind of off-white, whatever you want to call it. It's just matte, flat. Anyways, yeah, man, it really is. It's thick. So this stuff, what you got to have to use. You got to have a couple tools. You got to have a few tools, actually. Oh, no. I knew it. Should work. Yeah, still good? Yeah. I'm gonna check my feed, make sure everything's cool. So what happens when you have all these damn wires? Oh well, we'll make do. Oh, there it goes. It falls. See, I'm watching too. Let's make sure I get this lined up back right. And I think we do. Yeah, cool. All right. Anybody writing anything? No. Anyways. All right, so with this laminate, you want to be... you want to have a few tools. A couple tools, actually, for sure. You want to have, and one of which I don't have. So it's going to slow down this process tonight or stall it. And I'll resume again tomorrow because I'll be here every night. And we got snow coming tomorrow. Heating iron. This is the one that I have. Protect JSHG 12 Alpha 11. I'll read it again. This is the best heating gun that I've ever used and seen, and it's awesome. It's a Protect. It's a JS-H, G as in golf, 12 Alpha. And I want to say it's, okay, it's indigo, so it's II. There it is right there. This thing's awesome. 2 settings. Bam. This thing will get it done. I promise you, this thing will get it done. It's great. It's constant flow. It isn't variable. The heat doesn't fluctuate. Change in temperature is what I'm getting at. Gets to its temperature that needs to be. Works awesome. All right, so let's get on with the laminate. I don't know how I'm going to do this because I'm missing the one critical thing, and I can't find it, and that is my heating iron. I don't know where it is. I've moved, and I'm thinking it's at my new house. Not sure. Or I lent it to somebody, and I don't remember who. But that list is not that long here local. So what will happen is I'm going to show you the process up into the point of actually starting to laminate, because I'm not going to be able to do that. So let me see. Where was it going to look? I forgot my train of thought. Screw it. Oh no, Chris. So Chris had some things he wanted to mention. One, where's your iron? He was talking to me. Okay, regular clothes irons work great too, is what he's saying. I used to travel with one, or travel one. I usually put a moist towel on the workbench and quench it every time before I put the iron down on the plane. I'm not going down that path because me and that freaking laminate iron are one. I know how that thing heats up. I just know what it does. I know its quirks, and I'm good with that. So I'm not going to use anybody else's shit. Now, he's right. You could use a regular clothes iron and apply this laminate. I wouldn't do it. I would actually use the right tool for the job, and laminate iron is the right tool. I think I usually set to 235 degrees, but you need to feel it out. Don't F it up. Don't F up your plane. That's literally what he put right there. I have no intentions of effing this up. That's why I'm taking my time. So there's a school of thought, and it comes from RiteWing, which is you cut your laminate into 3 pieces on the top and 3 pieces on the bottom. I'm fine with that. I'm not going to do that, but you can. The reason why, well, I'll think about it. One section right here, this middle section, and then down here. So you would cut like from here to here, one center section piece of laminate, then cut another one that overlaps by about 1/4 inch all the way down the tail, or to the tip, and that's your other piece. And when you're cutting laminate, when you're cutting and we're going to do this obviously tomorrow because I don't have my iron, and it's going to screw everything up. You want to cut off what I do is I make an initial cut, just a real broad stroke, but I use about 2 inches around this whole thing. Okay, that's how I usually do it. And I use 2 sections. I go from here over, and then I overlap by about 1 inch, all the way across, and then from here down, and flip it over, and do the other side. Now, I agree with Chris. Chris has got more experience than me, obviously, so his method is what I basically stated to you. If I recall, they usually go over, the center section goes all the way over to where the main verts go in. That's usually where the line is, where I see the seams, somewhere in that vicinity on both left and right. That would be your center. And then you overlap it and put it down here, and then you would overlap and put another one down here. Center, work your way out. Always start in the center, use the iron, get it all going, work this one piece, get it all nice and perfect, then get the next one and work your way down. And we're going to go over this tomorrow, but and the biggest thing is making sure you're not putting a lot of heat on it and you're not warping the wing or putting any dimples in the wing because of the laminate iron. So again, when you're making your laminate cuts, just cut them real big, a couple inches off. You're going to chew up some laminate, but you'll stage it down a little bit more as you make that first rough cut. Then you'll come in here and then you'll line everything up. Then you'll work from there and you'll trim it. But we'll go on that tomorrow. So, like I said, I'm going to keep these short. These are not long. There's not a lot to go over. So, nice 3M job done. Let it dry until it's not tacky anymore, and then you can go ahead and put the laminate on. And we'll go over that tomorrow. So, I apologize I didn't have it tonight, but either way, I don't want to steal Rotor's thunder. He's getting ready to go live doing his build series on the RiteWing B3, which is super cool. He's the one that builds my race wings. And proof's in the pudding, baby. So he knows what he's doing. So go watch him and check him out. He'll probably be on in the next hour. I think it's 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. I believe that's what it was because he's still in Texas. But she's turning out great, folks. If you haven't got one of these, go to RiteWing. Beg, plead, tell Chris you'll do whatever, but you got to get one in this foam. I'm telling you, it's amazing. Anything that he puts in this foam is amazing. I'm shit you not. I cannot wait till we get on that Sportster, but that's going to be something I think Chris Click and I'll do maybe live. I don't know. We'll think about it. But either way, he and I are going to work on it together. It's not going to be just by myself. Keep looking at it. I just can't wait to see her fly. She really is starting to look sexy. And as Chris says, I don't want to fuck it up, so I'm going to have to stop right here. And let me saunter over to my main chair. And let me see what everybody's saying, if anything. And knock over the camera. All right. Cool. Let's see where we're at. Well, there's only a few of you left, so I'm glad you all stayed around. And I hope you're getting something out of this. The main thing is, let me switch over here to this. So if you don't know already, get the 3M90. That's the stuff you want to use. You don't want to use anything else. You don't want to use M77. You want that M90. Make sure when you're applying the M90 first before you do anything. This is just a recap of what we did. That way when you go back and watch it, you'll know. This is part 2. This is we're prepping the frame for laminate. And what we did is we sanded it, and we used a hand. We did it by hand. We also did it with electric, little handheld electric sander. Just don't put a lot of pressure on it. Get it to where it's fuzzy and loses that shine on the foam, and then you're ready to go. Once you apply that 3M90, make sure that you have it no more than really like 4 inches max. And do a test spray on a box, and just so you can see how that particular bottle of 3M90 is performing. If you do that, you're going to save yourself a shit ton of, aggravation. Because if you pull it out too far, what I said before is that spray will come out wide, but then it tapers in. If you go out, just test it and see it. It reattaches itself, turns itself into like a spidey web, and then you're squirting that all over your frame, and it's just like putting, silly string all over your frame, and it gets into all these grooves, and it looks like crap. Plus, it's not going to really do its job because it's not evenly spread across the frame to allow for the laminate to catch. And that's the key. We're doing all this so we can get the laminate on there to strengthen this frame up. And we're using quality stuff. We're not skimping. We're using top-notch, laminate. We're using good adhesive. great foam. This frame is going to be sick. It's going to be sick. And I'm so worried, man, Chris, if you're watching that, I don't crash this thing. I almost don't want to fly it after I get done with it. But anyways, we're going to keep doing these. I'm going to keep doing these series from beginning to end. And again, I have to be done by Wednesday. And we got the show. And I got to go to my granddaughter's baptism. And. But we do this because we love what we do, and we like sharing it with you guys. And that's what our motto is this year in the 2020 is trying to give you guys more entertainment and more stuff. Even though we're not making shit. But we want to make sure we're passing on the passion. So, without further ado, tune in tomorrow. I don't know what time. I'll make sure I post something up, let you know exactly what time. But tomorrow for sure I will be here and doing the laminate. If I have to go out and buy another laminating iron, Brian from Hangar 18, I might be coming your way, brother. Make sure you got one, please. If you do, hold it for me because I'll come pick it up. We're going to do the laminate for sure tomorrow. So I want you guys to see how I do it. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to go ahead and do it Chris's way, which is 3 pieces on the top, 3 pieces on the bottom, break them into more parts. I see the logic. It's going to aid in laminate. Or I got to get my words. I'm so tired. It's going to aid in the process because laminating is a difficult thing. And I feel to me it's one of the most important, if not the most important part of the build process, because you can really make this thing go to shit if you don't iron it right, or you can make it be absolutely amazing based on how you laminate it. Let me read what you guys are saying before I start heading out. Let me go ahead and hit this thing, man. My mind wants to hear something other than my mouth rambling, which is an applause or something. Yes. God, it's like my little binky. I gotta hang on to this thing. Without it, I feel naked. It's just weird. Anyways, let me go ahead and read what you guys are writing over there. I'm going to go and chat to Catherine one more time. We're going to go ahead and look at the frame one more time. There she is. Again, that heating iron right there. Protect. It's Protect. And I gave you guys the model number. Get that thing. That thing is crucial. Heating iron or laminate irons, I know there's some that are actually really good. Mine's old, but I'd still love it anyways. You can borrow mine, says Rue. Sweet. If you don't mind, Rue, I will take you up on that offer. That way I don't have to go dicking around looking for it. Send me a message on my phone. You know how to do that. I appreciate that, bro. You are absolutely awesome.
Oh, yes.
I'll hit you up and find out where you are. If you're at work tomorrow when I'm out to work, I'll just swing by. Take it to your place. I'm not going to say where you work because I don't want to give out that information. And then I'll swing by there if possible. So if you're still watching, let me know. It'll be really cool. Again, thank you, Rue. That's part of one of my friends, my flying crew. You see them often on my channel, on the show, and videos. Anyways, there she is. That's the Upside 3M90 application right there. Looks nice and even. One more spot I got a spritz on there, and I'm good for tonight. I'll probably hit the bottom as well. Let it sit overnight. Yes, I'm going to let it sit overnight because I really don't have a fucking option. Normally, I'd let it go until it's just tacky, and then go ahead and apply the laminate right after that. So that's what you can do. You don't have to wait overnight for that thing to completely dry over. You can wait till it's just not tacky anymore and go ahead and apply it on there. We'll see how it goes with mine. If it screws up, then it screws up. We're going to keep building it anyways. It'll be fine. I'm telling you, that thing is... Rue, when you feel this thing, it's going to blow your mind, dude. It really is. It's like steel, almost. It's crazy. What did everybody else write? Work till 7. That's fine. No big deal. Remember, we're getting snow tomorrow night. All right, kids, that's going to do it. It's 9:14 right now. Looks 45 minutes. And the Ying to My Yang will be on. That's Rotor Ranch. Check him out. I think he's going to be doing it live from Facebook. So until tomorrow, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you're getting some information along this crazy shit show that we call the Drone Hangar. We're trying, guys. We love you. Until next time, remember, get you some of that. I'm out.